B'Shem Hashem Na'aseh V'Natziach. We wanted to wish everybody a happy Purim and an easy fast. I dedicate this shiur for the refuah shlema of my father, Shlomo Chaim Ben Pari. Please continue praying for him. In my humble opinion, we know this parasha that's coming up is Parashat ZACHOR. The ultimate light of the world, the ambassadors of God on this material world is the Jew, which they are symbolized by light. We have to be a light to the nations. The polar opposite of that is Amalek. They despise, they hate anything that is pure and moral and good. They want the world to be a jungle, like Hitler and Haman and Amalek. And they have no fear. They have no shame. And I think the whole lesson of the Megilat of Ester is that the courage of a Jew, when a Jew doesn't compromise, when a Jew fears nobody but God, when a Jew bows nobody to God, amazing miracles happen. Look at the story of the Megilat. The story of the Megilat begins where the evil prime minister of Persia demands of every person in the courtyard and anywhere that he arrives that everybody need to bow down to him. And he used to have an idol around his neck. There was only one person that had the guts to stand up to this bully, to this evil person, and he said Mordechai was a minister, and he went to the face of Haman right up to him on a daily basis, and he wouldn't bow. And the Jews became infuriated with Mordechai, because when Haman saw that Mordechai is not bowing down to him, he said, I wanted to annihilate all the Jews. He wanted to do, God forbid, a Holocaust for the Jews. And the Jews begged Mordechai on a constant basis. They say, why you infuriate Haman? You know he's an Amaleki. He hates the Jews. He's Agagi. He's from the king of Amalek, which is Agag. Mordechai, on the surface, it seems Mordechai got us all into this whole mess by not bowing down to Haman. If Mordechai would have been subservient and just gone with the flow, Haman wouldn't have wanted to destroy the Jews. But actually, the Megillah teaches us the contrary. Mordechai was not willing to compromise on his values. He realized that a Jew only bows down to God. And for sure a Jew will not bow down to an evil prime minister. Because every time in the morning prayer we read Have'az Kanamer, you have to be as audacious, as courageous as a leopard to do the will of God. And Mordechai is the epitome of this. That the whole world told him, just go with the flow. But Mordechai teaches us that a Jew must not bow and not fear anybody but God. And don't make any mistake, ladies and gentlemen. When a Jew has the courage to do the right thing and not, God forbid, flatter and compromise and give prestige and honor to evil, but he stands and says that we only have to worship God and we don't bow and we don't compromise our values, then guess what? An amazing metamorphosis happens. All the tables turn upside down. Mordechai himself ended up becoming the prime minister, because when God sees that the only person we fear and love is him, and we don't bow down, and if the whole world is unmodest, if the whole world is unethical, if the whole world lies and steals and cheats and has no shame, we Jews have to be like Mordechai. We don't bow to evil. We don't compromise our values. Then the story of the Megillah teaches us miracles happen. All are on the day of Purim. Instead of Mordechai being hung, Haman got hung. Instead of Mordechai being annihilated, the Jews destroyed all their enemies. And the same thing with Esther. She's the epitome of courage. It was against the Persian federal law for anybody to go in, barge into the room of the king. If you had the chutzpah to just uninvitedly go into the inner chamber of the king where his private chamber was, you would die. But Mordechai told Esther, have courage, go in. And we see amazing thing. Esther said, God, I'm going to beg the king not to destroy the Jews. And guess what happened? When she had courage, not only the king, she became more beloved in front of the king ended up listening to her. So the moral of the story of Purim, in my humble opinion, is a lot of times in life, we could be a follower. We could bow down, just like everybody else, to evil and compromise our values. But if we stay faithful to God and we fear nobody rather than God, then God will make amazing miracles, and may Hashem always help us to do the right thing and only fear and bow down to Him, and therefore merit the miracle of the ultimate Mashiach. Please don't forget to subscribe and have a very happy and merry and Chag Purim Sameach. Kol Tuv.